Then can move on to next slide then. All right. Okay, this one. This one shows a house under the sea. They say this is a habitat, undersea habitat. And NOAA is an organization for the oceanographic research in United States. They call this is also as Aquarius. And what can I say? So there are several people already inside the house. And then also there is a small unmanned car to collect some materials outside of the habitat, because it can be a very deep water, but also see that people is swimming outside for some time to collect scientific materials there. And diving equipment is that scuba diving. And scuba is a short name for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, and has been created around the 16th century, so that already 500 years ago. Ooh. In 1943, Cousteau was invented, which consists of a compressed air cylinder system, which looks like a current new system. So that is the modern shape with the regulator and compressed air is around 70 years ago. In the tank, there is a compressed air, but the compressed air cannot be consumed by human as it is, because of the high pressure there. So that we need to lower down the pressure for the breathing. So there is a regulator to modify or reduce down the pressure. And surface diving equipment there is a diving bell. There are two pictures of diving bell. The left lower one is old style diving bell, several hundred years ago. And you can see that the bottom of the bell is open to the sea, so that people can enter without any gate. But the picture A shows that there is empty air captured because of the shape of the bell, so that human can breathe without any mask or something. So it is kind of a rest area. But in the above picture, this is a modern diving bell that is closed, looks like a submarine, submersible, so that there is a gate. So you need to enter using the gate. And right hand side, there is a diving sheet. Atmospheric means inside the pressure is the same as in the atmosphere. It's 1 atm. So that the shape of the sheet is very similar to sheet for spaceship, NASA people outside of Earth or near the moon. They need also very similar shape of sheet, but the pressure direction is opposite. Right? Here, the pressure outside is very high, but in the space shuttle, the pressure outside is very low. But anyway, the shape is very similar. And ocean vehicle, classification. The first category is a surface vessel, very similar to ships. Already we see that manned surface ship, and also there is an unmanned surface ship, is two small one. Underwater vehicles, there is a submarine, submersibles, and the underwater unmanned underwater vehicles too. And others looks like an airplane, but they are saying it is a ship, but flying ship, you can say. It is flying just above the water surface, keeping there, not going high enough. They stay there. So only difference from ocean surface is about several meters. So it is touching, nearly touching the plane or ship. And
Professor,
all right, go ahead.
what's the point of the vehicles that are just flying over the surface of ocean?
Oh, why they make this kind of ship? Because of the speed, and also because of the weight advantage comparing to the airplane. There's two sides. So compared to the ship or ordinary ship, at the left side, the speed is very high, something like 1,000 kilometers per hour. Comparing to the ships is up to say 100 kilometers per hour. So that speed can be 10 times higher in this kind of flying ship. And comparing to the airplane, the ordinary airplane, they can carry more cargo because of the, we call, say, surface effect, reflection effect. The air between water surface and the ship, the airplane, there is a more air is coming near the channel between blade and water surface. That gives you more, how can I say, floating forces. We may have a separate slide set afterward to explain more about this kind of ships.
Okay.
So two terms, so it's a kind of hybrid between ordinary airplane and ordinary ship. So in the middle, speed-wise and weight-wise, right? So they can be used for very, say, high-priced cargos, something like. So Japan is trying to use this kind of design to transport electronic parts, cargos, to the Southeast Asian countries. Very similar to Korean companies nowadays, because Samsung Electronics, they build, assemble their smartphones in Vietnam, factory in Vietnam nowadays. So that they need to transport many of the parts of that smartphone from the Korea. Not only from the Korea, but many of them is coming from Korea. So that usually they use airplane for the transportation, but that is too expensive for them. And also the weight per price, how can I say? Comparing to ratio between weight and price of transportation, it is in the middle of, in the middle between airplane and ship. So that is corresponding market is there. Okay, we'll see in the next several lectures to see how material is coming, right? Submarine and submersibles. So submarine is usually a big ship, and for the Navy, for the battle, we call this as submarines at the left-hand side for the Navy. But submersibles is very small ships, but they goes to down deeper ocean, say 1,000. In the bottom right-hand side, it is a ship coming from Japan. So it is written as a Japanese character set there. It is saying that Shinkai 6500, right? That means deep ocean of 6,500 meters. So they are saying this ship can go down to that kind of deep ocean to investigate ocean, deep ocean around it. So submersible is usually used for oceanographic research of deep ocean. But comparing to the submarine in left-hand side, they use this ship for Navy fighting, right? So they do not need to go down to 1,000 meters down. They usually play around 100 meters, several hundred meters, nearly 100, 100, 200, or up to 300 meters, not 1,000 meters. So that is the difference between them. Okay, question? Right. So underwater robotic vehicle. Robotic means no human. Right? Robot is self-operating, unmanned. AUV also unmanned, autonomous underwater vehicles. So you can say underwater robotics or underwater unmanned vehicle. And right-hand bottom, there is a fish, but it is not a fish. It is a robotic fish, man-made fish. But they very look similar. They use motors, electric motor to move the fins of the fish. And the fin is very same as the natural fish is moving to propel the fish. So it's an interesting topic for research. All right. And unmanned ship. This is a surface ship. It looks like a submarine, but it is a idea sketch of a ship, and it is used for as a cargo ship. And for me, it looks like a bulk carrier. Bulk carrier means a bulk cargo ships because of my expectation, or assumption or observation saying because of the large covers or hatch, we call hatch, is there's a rectangular 4 to 5 covers above the ship that can be opened to put on the cargoes and put out the cargoes from the ship. Usually that kind of shape is coming from bulk cargo ships. We will see in the later stage. All right? So it looks like submarine, but it is only for surface ship, not dive into the underwater. And it is also unmanned ship, but that carries containers rather than bulk cargoes in the previous slide. How can I say unmanned? Because there is no pilot house, no people. Usually there is a high-rise building where the captain is located there, but here there is no person, no pilot, no captain in the ship. And it is looks like designed by Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce looks like you know that Rolls-Royce is famous for luxury car, but they are also producing engines for the ship and also designing some cargo machinery, including container cranes. So they also can design a ship for the container ship. Right? This is underwater drone. So drone is same as underwater robotics, but drone is this new name coming from airplane, helicopter, airborne drone, but it goes down to the underwater, so that's underwater drone. The shape is different, like this one, depending on the mission of the drone. We may design like this one or like this one. So this one looks like a more observational missions. And inside more light and also cameras there. But here this looks like a cargo carrying some carriage mission is put together. So they may deliver some cargo in somewhere in the ocean. Okay, that's it for the overview of oceans. Questions? No. Then we can have a 5-minute break. And then you may start another slide set afterward. All right, so we can come back to 150. Oh, there is a one chatting there. Where is chatting? Oh, that's another simple. Okay. To have a Korean telephone number or Kakao group ID.
I do have a Kakao.
You have a Kakao?
Mhm.
Then how can I connect you, or Jihu can connect you?
I can type my ID.
Just text me your ID, then I'll add you.
You can text ID at the chatting box here in Zoom.
Yeah, I got the
Okay.
message, Professor.
Good. Jihu, do you have other students' telephone numbers? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Then you can start a Kakao group for the class for this semester. That can be easier to discussion or information. I can put my lecture material also into the Kakao group.
So I will make a group right after this lecture.
Sure. Thank you very much. All right. And then I heard that Seungmin Woo, you are your company is a Samsung Heavy Industry.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. Can you introduce your job in Samsung Heavy? What you are doing there? That can be help to other students.
Okay. Can you hear my voice well?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. In Samsung, I'm responsible for the analysis for sloshing impact in LNG carrier and calculate the motion for the FPSO and variety of ships. Yes, and my main responsibility in company is my my main role is estimate the calculate for the oh yes,
because say
그-
Korean language if you
아,
cannot
예.
learn
예,
English.
죄송합니다. 예, 그 메인 롤은 뭐 CFD 어나리시스도 하고, 뭐, 스로싱, 해석도 하고요. 그 해양 구조물, 이제 그 운동 해석 평가, 뭐, 그런 일들을 하고 있습니다.
Anybody, any other person, student knows about what is CFD means? Go ahead.
Computational fluid dynamics.
Great. What is that?
Calculating the fluid.
Fluid dynamics.
Fluid.
Right. Using computer, right? Have you heard about Navier-Stokes equation? Yes. In usual fluid dynamics class or textbook, there is a equation called Navier-Stokes, very complicated partial differential equation. They use a computer to solve that equation. You can say that CFD, trying to solve fluid dynamics problems using computer. So Seung-min Woo is expert on this topic. And trying to calculate motion of ship and motion of ocean planet inside the ocean because of the wave and current and wind. The ship is moving, dancing above the water. What can be the movement of the ship? All right. That can be interesting. Sometimes you can explain a little bit more. And then Adib, I heard you are from Bangladesh and near your hometown is port city, something.
Yes.
Do you have any experience or your father, your friends or relatives working for?
My friend's dad was in the Navy, and he was able to arrange a school trip for us to the naval base. And we weren't allowed too much access, we were allowed to go into one ship, and they showed us the torpedoes. They
Torpedo?
used
Oh, it's a Navy.
in the Navy.
Your microphone is not so good, so your speech is not clear to us. You need
Okay,
to
is it better now?
try again.
Is it better now?
Oh yeah, a little bit, yes.
Yeah, so it was a naval port, like a Navy port. So
Okay.
I've only seen like warships. That's about it.
Hmm. What kind of worship you do?
I
Can
don't
you?
really remember. I was very young.
There is a gun or
just-
missile. Big.
Yeah,
is
like
it
there
big?
was like a very big torpedo, and they
Torpedo
showed us
too.
around
Oh.
the cabin.
Okay.
They showed us around the cabin crew,
Hmm.
and yeah, like they gave us the scuba mask thing.
Okay.
I tried inhaling oxygen. That was about it.
Okay. All right. How about yourself? Have you any chance to experience any ocean-related activity there? Can you swim? Can you swim?
I cannot swim. That's the
You can swim.
like us. My village is in an island, so I have to go to my village by like a boat, like a speedboat kind of thing. Like every time I'm very scared that I'm going to die.
Okay. Anyway, you need to improve your microphone later days because you need to have a lecture and discussion later time. But at this point, your speech is not clear to us. So there is a communication problem. All right. Anybody else who has experience on ocean-related activity at home or at your school, previous classes? Nobody. All right. Okay, then we can move on to other class material.